going to do today is install the Sexy Dash on our Juniper Model Y, and I just put a really nice small OLED screen right on the dashboard. So I would say that I've got a high standard for this because I really like that. But this from Enhance Auto is pretty sweet because it does some things that most of the dashes cannot do. Even dashes that kind of look the same, they can't do what this thing can do. If you are into the data, that's what you're going to get with this. But I thought what we would do today is we'll do a live stream of the install, and then we'll take the car out for a ride, show you the customizations, we'll see it in action, and then we'll throw in some FSD fun on the way. But with that, basically what you've got here in the kit is we have our screen. If you want to come closer. So it comes with a screen. You've seen screens that look similar to this, but there are some key differences in the way that it mounts. And I'll get to that in a moment. That's a very important piece to this because most of these screens block the airflow. And if you mount it in that spot, it will block the airflow. And then we've got our accessories. Now, you'll order based on your vehicle, but they sent the right harness for my vehicle, but they've also got the harnesses for the older generation Model 3 and Y. We've got a couple of the pieces for the mounting. This will allow us to mount that, and some power cables. So pretty straightforward. I believe we can look right now, but I believe this is a secondary strip. So the nice thing is, after you mount this thing, you can take it off and remount it in multiple places, but they even have a another piece of adhesive tape. So if you start to run out of that, I have no idea what this is for, but I've got a little suction cup here, so I'm not sure what that's all about. Okay. Oh, I know what it's for. Okay. It's for covering this door. So this is where things are kind of different with this one, is the way it mounts. So it's magnetically mounted on the back. So you can actually just take the whole thing off if you want. But if you look on the side here, it has adjustment so that we can change the pitch and the angle based on where you place this thing. So if you place it like right behind the steering wheel, you're going to need more pitch because of the way that the console goes down. If you lay it on the screen, you're going to, or up on the dash, you're going to want it more like this. So it's pointed at you. But that's an important piece of this. Super easy to install this too because there's not a whole lot of running wires. But really the hardest part is pretty easy. We're going to do that first. So enough chit chat. Let's just dive into it. So what we need is this set here. This kit does come with the Commander. Now the Commander is cool because this, even with just this and none of this other stuff, you can actually do a ton of stuff with your Tesla. This thing will unlock the ability to have basic autopilot, switch lanes, and it reactivate autopilot for you automatically. So it's almost like Enhanced Autopilot. It also unlocks like drift mode. You can set up some features to automatically happen when you do things, like you can hold the door handle open and it'll open the front. All kinds of really cool stuff. I've always had them in my cars, but we're gonna start with that here, and I'm gonna go grab a light so we can see a little bit better. Let me get around you here. This should. I don't think that the doors will hold this magnet. Yeah, I didn't think so. So let's try that. Let's see if that'll hold. Is that a little better for the light? Okay, good. Okay, so let's do this. Let me get the pry tool. And the nice thing about some of these newer screens that I've noticed is they're doing data wirelessly, which is what Enhance Auto already did with the Commander. The reason that's nice is because you don't have to run cables from this side across the dash to the driver's side. So kind of fun. But to do this, here's our first step. We need to come over here and grab our seal here. And you're just going to kind of pull it out a little bit. You just need to get yourself some room and some access. Go ahead and remove, if you have a floor mat, get that out of the way. Just make it a little bit easier. You don't have to pull this out quite as much as I'm going to, but it's just much easier. So this right here has to come off, and you might have to stick this in here just to get clearance, but this part is mounted this way. This part's mounted this way. So once we get this out, try your best to pull straight out towards you. With this one, there we go. Pretty easy. Just comes off. And then this is the only body clip, I guess, or pin that you need to remove. So we're just gonna pop it. There we go. And then literally, this all just kind of pulls out of the way, kind of backwards and out of the way. Start pulling up on some of the body clips that are holding it in place. And if you pull all the way to back here, it'll make it easy to just pull the whole thing out of the way. You don't have to do that, but man, it's a lot easier. Okay, so it looks scary and intimidating, but I promise it's not. First things first, though, you want to power down your Tesla. And to do that, I'll walk to the other side and show you on the screen how we're going to do this. Okay, so we need to go into the safety tab all the way at the bottom, power off. Now, once you do this, if you open a, hang on, there we go. If we open a door, press the brake pedal, anything like that, you'll have to do that again. Just keep that in mind. Right. Now, this is going to be a little close for you and me, but for you to show and see what I'm doing here, you'll have to get in here. So we have a pigtail. There's really two pigtails to this, and then this part goes to the Commander itself. With the Juniper Model Y, this is where it's located, and it's going to be like this. There's no plug in it right now, which is not how it used to be. So this is just going to tap into that, and you're going to leave this one blank. And then this one right here, we're just going to disconnect this, and we're going to pigtail on that. Oop. Backwards. There we go. And then we'll take our Commander, and we're going to plug this in. And I can see that data is starting to transfer. So it's trying to read signals, and it's looking for connections right now. So tuck this all in. You can use a zip tie if it's bouncing around and stuff, or you can just kind of tuck it away. But we want all of this just tucked away in there. And then take this big piece we just removed. And we're going to put it back. Come on. Get caught up here. It's like this alignment piece back here that didn't used to be there. There we go. All right, now pull this back a little bit. There we go. Put our pin back.
We have quality concern.
Okay. What's the quality concern?
They are very cool. Just a heads up. Quality is rough, so you might check
Oh,
network connection.
we need to disconnect Wi-Fi probably, because in the garage it's not the best. We'll do that, and hopefully it might buffer for a second. Let me do that. Hopefully that didn't disrupt anything. All right, so we've got our panels back in place. So we're just gonna put our gasket back in, and it just goes back in just like that. Done. So that's the hardest wiring that you're gonna do today, which is pretty cool because that's pretty easy. All right, now, good deal. I'm gonna put this carpet back real quick. All right, Elliot, if you want, you can join me in the car and I will bring some of this with me. And a special shout out to Ellie for helping with the camera while we do this. A little bit different of a live stream. Okay, so everything came online here. Let me just hit the menu. There we go. All right. Try to light this cabin up a little bit for the best light that we can get. All right. Let me turn on dome lights. There we go. Okay, I've got my iPad because unfortunately with live streaming, I would normally use my phone to connect to this thing, but I can't. So we're gonna take this and we grab the power. Totally forgot this. Okay, I'm actually gonna show you guys something really cool. So this is all you need now to set this thing up. You're literally just gonna plug it to a USB-C for power and everything else is already wired up. But traditionally what you would do is you would route this through and then plug it in back here. We might do something quick like that for today, but if you look here, this is my secret hack. So I have USB splitter in here, and in this one they ran out of the one that had a USB-C, so I see that now. But I'd have to get a USB-A to USB-C to use this. But I power my mag back from this. But we have dash cam, light shows, and then power for a phone charger all right there, because I always forget to put the dash cam back on after a light show. So for now, I'm just gonna plug it in back here. There we go. And before I power this up, we're gonna do two things. First, let me open up the app. All right, so here's the app, and let's go down here. First, we need to connect the Commander. Connect a new Commander. Connected, sweet. All right, now for the screen placement, this is where things get customizable, and I'd recommend having it magnetically attached while you place this different spots, but you can place it down here, which isn't too bad. You can place it right here, which is traditionally where you would find these things. And I don't know if you can come at a lower angle, but this would be the most restrictive from an airflow perspective. So it's actually a decent amount of gap there, but I would kind of be worried about that. But since it has two strips, that might be worth trying, because this would be the most ideal. I'm probably going to try here and see what that looks like from the steering wheel. Yeah, so from my point of view, it's like it does not quite go into the windshield where I need to see the road. It's like right at the edge from how I sit in the seat. But the steering wheel blocks like that much of it. You can put it all the way back here and use it as more of like a heads-up display. From here, obviously the challenge would be you can't really mess with the settings, but I could see the whole thing. So I think for demonstration purposes, I think I'm going to put it right here and give it a shot and see what the airflow feels like. And then I can just tell you in real time if that works well or not, because it is kind of high. Yeah, let's do that. And I had that open at the whole open spot. Let me get the Allen key that, or unless it's right here. There it is. So I can lock this thing in place. There we go. All right, so that's a full upward. And then I'm not gonna worry about covering this hole for this purpose, but there's a little like rubber piece you stick in there to cover that hole when you're done. Sorry. Let me, you can probably see better now. Almost. Okay. Now, the challenge is probably going to be getting this as like centered as possible. So I'm thinking, peel the tape. By the way, this is the adhesive 3M. This stuff actually gets harder in the sun, in the heat. So this will continue to create a stronger bond. This isn't like the stuff you might get with cheap Chinese accessories or whatever. This stuff is really strong. All right. And that's a plastic piece, so we shouldn't have any issues with damage. I did want to point a couple things out. I don't know if they want me to, but I'm going to anyways. So we have 2 speakers on the bottom, and that is because this thing is CarPlay, and you can communicate directly with it. The power goes there, but this is an SD card. Now, I don't know if they're planning future products, but this might be a future product coming, I would guess, because if you're adding storage to this, there's probably dash cam type stuff they're thinking about, or maybe stuff you can add. I don't know, but everything should be over the air for software updates. So it's interesting that they put that there. Maybe they don't ever use it, but I think that's an interesting thing to consider. What could they be thinking about using that for? All right, now I'm going to route this way. There we go. And I'm going to stick power this way. And here we go. I also like that I can just kind of place that there. There we go. All right. So this is really cool. So it's trying to connect, I think, automatically to the Commander. So let's see what it does all on its own. And by the way, my MagBack phone charger does not block. When I put my phone there, it'll probably block just this little sliver here. But this thing is sick. So I can connect my phone, and I might actually have to, maybe I can connect the iPad to it for CarPlay. Multiple screens. Okay, yeah, we'll borrow yours if that's cool. But multiple screens, all of these are customizable. You can configure this however you want. So like if I press and hold, now I can get into editing what that particular one is going to be. So for right now, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to set 2 of them up. One of them, I think this might be CarPlay. Okay, so it's trying to connect to CarPlay right now. So we'll leave that one as CarPlay. We'll leave this one. Let's just change some of the data that it shows. I kind of like this one, more sporty. Okay. From the bottom, I want maybe battery percentage, like that. Okay. So battery percentage, and I'm going to change up here. This little widget will change to There's a whole bunch of different categories. There's 5 categories, it looks like. Oh, no, there's a lot more, sorry. Everything, mirrors. These are like actions. So let's do stats. There we go. 4 sections of stats. So we'll do battery, and we can change the size in multiple ways, which is cool. That's kind of cool. Actually, I kind of like that a lot. Cannot fit, and the reason is, as it sits right now, I've got this one in the way. So what I'm going to do is remove that one. Now I should be able to go back into stats, go to battery percentage, and do a vertical 1x2. And then that will sit there, which is cool. And I think this one will be just kind of a simple screen. For the next one, I'm going to, sorry, what? Oh, do I need to press done? There we go. Okay. Now this one I like for other types of data. So let's do this. Let's press and hold this. I want to do gauges, navigation. Navigation is fine, I guess. We'll keep that there. This is an interesting one. This one right now is showing front motor, rear motor, battery inlet for temperatures. Let's see if I can change this. Top usable. I like that. Yeah. Inlet, we'll change that to
Somebody asking if it affects the warranty.
No, this won't affect your warranty. This isn't, we're not splicing into anything. This is all plug and play. So we shouldn't have any issues like that. Looks like I'm gonna have to change the settings to Fahrenheit and miles here shortly. Battery temperature. So this would show me usable capacity, range in right now kilometers, battery temperature as well. And range is fine. Actually, right now I want to change this to miles per hour because that's getting old really fast. You can do power by horsepower or kilowatts. We'll keep it at kilowatts. Audio output, you can have it just connect Bluetooth to your screen, so you could have the car audio run the audio here if you're using CarPlay as an example. And left-hand steering, Bluetooth. Let's see if we can connect to our. We might have to do this actually on the app here.
He's asking if there is a link for the USB splitter.
Yes, there is. I'll have to I'll have to add that after the fact. Let's go here to the Commander. There's a software update available already, but for now, let's connect our dash. Okay, so it wants me to. Is it really? It should connect to it from there, I thought, but this doesn't allow me to. Okay, let's see what we need to do here. First, let's do this update. Device disconnected. Okay. We need to connect it. It should have been connected. I thought we were. It says connected. Pair with the car. Here we go. Oh, this is adding it as a key. I might have to log in. And if I do, you'll have to look at the, oh no, the key card. I don't have the key card. Who carries a key card? A responsible Tesla owner, probably. All right, that ain't gonna happen. Okay. I should have been able to connect this though to.
You want me to keep reading the questions?
Yeah, that's fine.
Do you think it would fit above the light bar or will it hit the glass?
The problem with above the light bar is that's the speaker and it's a fabric, so there's nothing to attach it to. But just in front of the light bar, yes. But there's not enough of this plastic to hold on to. I wouldn't think, unless you put it like over here on the side, which I guess you could. What I don't understand, I need to like connect to Wi-Fi somehow. And I don't see where I'm able to do that. But our commander is connected, I believe. There we go. Now it's downloading a file. I'm going to move my mic since I'm moving around a lot. I don't want to. Sorry about the temporary loud noises. Sorry. Okay, now we can put this like right there. Okay. That's updating. And then I still don't understand why it's not seeing any available devices. But I guess I would have to turn my phone to find out. So that ain't gonna work.
Yeah, asking about the wire. What would you say about how to tack it? And
This, I would tuck it right here in between. Personally, I would tuck it or kind of run it up here and then you pull the plastic piece off here to get it under the dash. And I personally would run it across into the glove box. But that's just me. This thing is updating really slow. So that's one of the downfalls of a live stream. You just can't edit this part out. So we get to hang out here together. Still don't understand that though. Let's just do this. Oh, of course I ran the wire. All right. Oh, you know what? We can try to connect to your iPhone while we're waiting for this update to finish. Let's see here. All right, Bluetooth, not Wi-Fi. Bluetooth. There we go. Scan.
oh, somebody give you $10.
Oh, that was very generous. Thank you. What'd they say?
Oh, they just love you what you do.
Oh, okay. Well, if you have a question too, no problem. I'd be happy to answer it. Thank you very much for the support, though. I appreciate it. All right, pair. We don't need to sync your contacts, but connect. So this is using a wireless Apple CarPlay, by the way, which isn't new anymore. But for those of you who are used to CarPlay, it's using the wireless version of it. Okay. And then do you see it on this list? Is this it right here? Is that one you've never seen before?
Okay. Also, it's a new phone, so.
Okay. Perfect. All right. So now, yeah, look at that. Now I can go into your X account and like get you canceled and everything.
Don't DM me the mask.
All right. So you can kind of see. I promise you can bring it up here. I'll show you the bulk of. You can show the whole thing. I'm blocking what needs to be blocked. I'll show you the whole screen here when we get out of my garage for privacy reasons, so you can see how nice this looks. But I'll also do a full page on this. So I'm gonna swipe this up real quick. There we go. I'm gonna create another one here while I was thinking about that. Let's just start removing everything off of this screen. This is screen number 3, by the way, which is cool. And we're gonna add CarPlay there. Yep, I want that. I want the whole thing. 6x2. It's probably good. Yeah, okay. It's the whole screen though. It's really cool. Let me swipe that up. I promise you though, I will show you all of that shortly. But just for privacy purposes, you understand. Okay. Perfect. Let me get out of the CarPlay ones. There we go. Okay. Done. And then let's say double press right steering wheel button and select continue. Oh, it did it for me. Okay. So that's good. That confirms it's connected. Now we should be able to see some stats like on here. Let's see if I swipe through some of our data. Yep, 263, 263. All right, so it's synced with the car now. So that's good. So the Commander's there. And we should be able to now go to perhaps, it's still pre-order only. Okay. I wonder if it's not going to let us connect the dash at the moment to the data, but it should. You don't see dash on here anywhere, do you? Okay. We're connected there. There's nothing else on that. I just have a warning. What if I put it in reverse? Yeah, it's not reading anything. Okay. So we need to figure out how to connect this. But while we're here real quick though, this is one of the cool things about the Commander. This is probably one of the biggest, like, this is crazy. So continuous autopilot. If you don't have full self-driving and you go on road trips, you know when you switch lanes, you have to reactivate autopilot every time, which is, it is what it is, whatever. What this does is you can preset an amount of time, and after driving a while, you'll figure out exactly how much time you need. When you turn that turn signal on, and as soon as you deactivate, this timer starts. And what it's going to do is it's going to attempt to go back into autopilot after that many seconds. So example, I start to switch lanes, and in 3 seconds, as long as I am in the lane and the car says it's available to turn on autopilot, it's going to activate it automatically. So there's no more reactivating every time you switch a lane, which is actually kind of really cool. So that's pretty sick. There's a ton of other things you can do, like if you floor it, it'll shift down to, or like if you floor it and you're in chill, it'll go to sport mode automatically, which is pretty awesome. You can keep automatic wipers off when you turn on autopilot or full self-driving. That's a really helpful feature actually, because it used to be really annoying, but it's gotten better, I guess. This above 85 miles an hour. So what this does, it automatically kicks you out of full self-driving or autopilot if you manually push on the accelerator to pass somebody, which I've done a time or two. But when you exceed 85 miles an hour and you're in autopilot or full self-driving, you get a strike immediately. Kicks you out and you're kicked out for the rest of that drive. So by turning this on, it's automatically going to disengage when I hit 86 miles an hour. So it'll prevent that from happening. And then you can also do resume autopilot when you're below the limit. So when you get back down below 85, it'll turn back on. That's pretty sick. It's just, there's all these little features like that. The ambient one that came out not that long ago. This one's really cool. So we can turn like the, let me do the turn signals real quick. On turn signal, we'll turn that on. So watch my dashboard up here, the lights. Ready? So I'll turn the right turn signal on. The right half of my light bar is flashing green. Same with the left. If you turn the left turn signal on, pretty cool. And you can do the same thing with some of your other things like, what was it? Blind spot, I think, is in here somewhere. Where was that? There's a blind spot. It's right there. So if somebody's in your blind spot, whatever color your dash is, it'll turn that side red. Kind of cool. You can change that actually to any color. So maybe I'll turn that to yellow because I'll never have yellow on. I also want to show where were the hazards I just saw. So there's blind spot, turn signals. It would be in here. On hazards, it should turn orange. Yeah, that's cool. I don't know. It's just it's a cool little thing. It's a nice visual cue while you're driving, kind of right in your face while you're facing forward. Some people may not like that. I love it though. You can also turn on a special greeting when you open the door where it gives you a little light show every time, so that's fun. And then accelerator mode. This is kind of cool. It'll automatically switch the color of the lights based on what drive mode you're in. That's kind of fun. Um, there's all kinds of other things we can do here. We can turn on and off the daytime running lights, which you can't do without this. You could do um, some of these types of features where it automatically turns the volume down when you get out of the car, which is cool. If you have Scan My Tesla, which I do, you can connect it to the Commander, and that is cool because it connects the data so you can see it right here in the app. And because my phone's on Livestream, I won't be able to do that right now. Always keep the vent on in the back if you have kids and you have ever seen the rear vents not turn on automatically. This is a big deal. That one I like. So yeah, there's a bunch of different features you can add. And then of course, you can add actions here as if you had the buttons, which you can buy separately, or you can use the app to do this. So for example, I want to open the passenger front right door, save that action, and in my app, this is just an iPad version of the app on my phone. I can then turn that on. Doors open. Pretty cool. Like if you're an Uber driver, you can open the rear doors for people just by pressing a button, which is pretty cool. And if you keep the app on and up here somewhere, it can act as a dashboard for you too. I want to see if, yeah, it didn't automatically. I just wanted to see if it automatically connected or not. Okay.
Is there any way to control this kind of trolls?
Control the what?
Trolls.
Oh, the trolls? You got to click them and kick them. Yeah. You can boot them, remove. Mm-hmm. Perfect. Okay. What I want to figure out is why the heck we've got to figure this out. Because that commander should be a part of the dash. And it's not in any of these settings. So I don't understand that. So I'm going to power it down and power it back up and see if it needs to do a restart. So it recognizes that it has a connection to your phone, and I guess I could check my email real quick just in case there were special instructions. These have not released yet, so that's part of the situation we're having right now. So on the app, it will not let you actually connect to a dash. So let me check really quick to see if I had something that I should have caught. All right. The dash won't work with your current commander. Use the Gen 2 commander. The dash acts as a separate smart device, so it can't run together with the sexy app. Turn off one of them. You won't need the app for now since the updates are available. Most actions work with the Commander may disconnect briefly, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let me force quit the app and see if this will now connect. Still nothing. I don't know how long it'll take to connect. Nope. Yeah, I'm not sure what it's going to take for this thing to connect to the. I'll power cycle the car real quick. All right, now let's see. Look, still not connecting. Okay, I'm gonna power cycle the dash now. 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right, now we should be getting some updates here. And it should be connecting automatically. That's basically how this should be working. Yeah, let me get a plug for that because I can get some juice to it. Maybe. If I've got the plug. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's not connecting. That's really frustrating. I think what we're gonna have to do is try to start moving and see if that'll allow us to connect. What do you think?
Let's try.
Yeah, I think we got to try that.
So let me try the light.
Well, we will if it for sure works. So hold this.
Okay, so this one is weak. Yeah, this one.
It's this one?
Yeah.
Did it just die?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh. It's on the back here somewhere.
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We will both get Yeah. Oh no. Oh, this needs to be turned on. There we go. And all right, sorry about that. Hopefully you guys can hear now.
Yeah. Audio goes through.
All right, there we go. Okay, so go ahead and close your door. We're gonna start driving and see if we can get this thing to do what it's supposed to be doing. And make sure the app is closed, which it is. Okay. Put this back here.
Thank you for the feedback.
Are they on?
Yeah, somebody said the volume.
Enhance? Is Enhance on? Or is it?
No, the audio is good. That's all.
Oh, okay. I was like, man, it's got to be really late over there. Yeah, I think they're in Czech Republic, right? I'm going to turn these lights off. All right, let's get moving here. Turn this dash to auto. There we go. All right. Okay. Should be a little bit better. Hopefully there's not a bunch of sound interference or anything. But this should be automatically connecting, so I'm not sure what the particular issue is. But it'll be obvious when it does connect. That's kind of fun. I really like that.
Yeah.
I like the turn signal on the dash.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Mm-hmm. Should probably just move this mic somewhere else now. Like, let's see if it'll stay there. Hopefully it's not too quiet. Yeah, there's nothing to do. It's like, I think,
You want to go wide now?
yeah, you can, oh, that was probably loud, sorry. Yeah, you can,
You want to try to go and put in the mount?
not yet, but
Okay.
what we're gonna do is, if this doesn't connect, I'm gonna pull over and we'll have to get out of the vehicle and let the vehicle sit for like 2 or 3 minutes and then
Okay.
we'll get in. I think we'll try that next, but
Okay.
for now, let's go with the FSD. By the way, that's what CarPlay looks like on full screen.
Can I show it?
Yeah. Yeah, we should be good now.
Okay.
So, pretty nice. It reminds me of like, hello. Nope. We don't want to go there. Don't suggest anything. Thank you. Okay. It reminds me of, we had a Land Rover that had one of these screens like this where you could turn the navigation on as the display, even if it was part of the background, and it's kind of the vibe I get with this. Uh-oh. Is it? Do you have volume? Is volume happening?
Yeah, volume still working.
Huh. Oh, that's red. That's
Yeah, low battery.
Okay. So we're gonna have to go back and forth for the audio, or
Yeah.
we'll just have to stop using the microphone and just use the phone's audio. Okay, so what we're gonna do then, I'm going to have us pull over up here.
This one is if there's a big reduction in airflow for the driver. And then another I ask, yeah, can we test it, please?
Yeah, so I purposely mounted it right here. The cool thing about this particular setup is the way that it mounts. You can mount it anywhere. It's adhesive mount, and I put it right there purposely just to test airflow, because you can also mount it anywhere on the dash. You can mount it here if you really wanted to, but that's what is really nice about this. I think it would look really cool right behind the steering wheel right here, but that would definitely kill the visibility or whatever. But as you can see, it sits it high. It does not have a bunch of beefy stuff back here blocking flow. So like I can feel it, and I have noise reduction on, but maybe you can hear the wind if I crank it. Let me put it on. Oh, it's on high. Okay, so maybe you could hear that, but the air is flowing right here.
It's pretty clear that
Yeah.
it's open.
So I would say as long as you don't want it right on your face, which I wear contacts, so I don't do that, then yeah, I can feel the air right here on my neck. So that's important. But I would not be able to point that right at my face, which might be a big deal for some people. So I think I could live with it like this because I wear contacts. All right, let's get out of the car. Admire the beauty outside for a minute. Figure out what's going on. Lights, parking lights, look nice. By the way, Ellie, what do you think? So Ellie, who's holding the camera right now, he's from Israel. He's visiting, and you used to work at Tesla, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you used to work at Tesla, and you sold a lot of these things.
Yeah.
What do you think of the Juniper?
I think the Juniper is just an amazing car. When it comes to the Model Y, as you know, it used to be #1 in sales for the last 2 years, and people did not like how it looks like. You know, people said it's ugly and whatnot. And the new one is just still Model Y, better looking, and the price stays the same basically. So people just jumped when the new Model Y came out in Israel. It was one of the first countries in the world. People rushed in. The
Yeah.
sales, the numbers were insane. People love it, and from my experience, when people got the car, they were amazed. So
Yeah.
people looked for that specific car. They just did not know that they wanted so much this specific car.
Yeah. I don't know how well this comes across on the video, but at nighttime, the glow is so sick. I love the light bar on the front and the back. The back is the cool one though, because it's like this afterburner effect. Looks like a Falcon 9 rocket or something. I don't know. I love it. Jonathan has mixed feelings about the back, but he has mixed feelings about everything, doesn't he?
You can show him.
I
a
hope you're
rock.
listening,
Yeah,
Jonathan.
yeah, for sure.
I hope you're listening. I'm gonna turn power off because it looks like it didn't cycle. So let me turn power off of the car before we do anything. I think since I kept the lights on, it didn't power off. There we go. Let's see. And I'm even, for added precaution, I'm just gonna unplug this. No! See, I hit something, so it woke it up. So I gotta do that again. So safety, all the way to the bottom, power off. All right, now close the door quickly. And minus the dome lights we left on the inside. Whoops. I wonder if we stepped, there we go. Okay, so it locked, it went to sleep. We're gonna give it just a minute. And I'm sure you're getting a really awesome show in this dark. But on Tuesday, I think it was, this is one of the fun things about living in Florida. Straight this way, where you see all those beautiful Christmas lights. We had a really nice light show from the Falcon 9 they launched. We get to watch all of them from our drone, which is really cool here in Orlando. But if you were ever going to get attacked by a cougar in this area, it would be right now.
I'm ready.
Just saying. All right, let's see if we're in business. All right. So let me plug this in for starters. Here we go. All right, let me plug this in. And let's see if this thing will sync. At the moment, it is not. But it said they said it should sync within 30 minutes or 30 seconds on the first one. So I'm not sure what it's going to take. And we know the Commander is connected and it's working with the car. So this thing is supposed to launch in February, I believe, is when they'll start shipping orders. It's kind of dark. Let me turn our dome lights back to auto. Adaptive headlights, thank you. All right. No, I don't want to go in reverse, but let's do some FSD fun while we're messing with this thing. Maybe let's come down here and turn around. I don't know if you guys have seen FSD park itself yet on 14, but it's pretty sick. And for those who couldn't figure it out, when you're in FSD, this is where you can set all your stuff. Where do you want it to park? You know, you want it to park in the parking lot, or do you want it to go to the curbside? That kind of stuff. It's right there. I know a lot of people are struggling to find that when 14 first came out, but hopefully this thing will sync. Otherwise, that was a fun live stream. All right, here it goes. And we're in standard right now. And I have my foot near the accelerator, but I'm not pressing it. It's just a habit, I guess. What's really interesting too is our Juniper does the speed I prefer on this road in standard. In the Cybertruck, it does not go this fast. It goes 60 period in a 55. So I don't know why standard in the Juniper goes the speed I usually go on this road, which is 63. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
It's like the Model Y's version has a little bit of AI in it, you know? Like it's learning my habits.
Yeah, I've noticed that the Cybertruck and the sexy lineup are not acting
Yeah.
in the same way.
Yeah, it's just really, really odd. It's bizarre. So this turned into an FSD video, so that's fun. Yeah, that's really, it's really frustrating. When it parks, I'll look one more time and see if there was a step I missed in the email. There's not a instruction set available for this just yet, since it's so new. But this is how I understood it. The Commander is straightforward, though. I mean, that's how they all connect. And then, of course, they have the sexy buttons, which you can attach anywhere. By the way, my friend Rafael Teslatino, check him out. He has the same rack on his Cybertruck that I do, and it basically seals the area, but it blocks the buttons for opening and closing the tailgate. So he uses a sexy button to activate the tailgate, which is pretty clever. On our previous Model Y, I had, I think, open and close the frunk. I had preconditioning. One of them was the autopilot function where I could not grab the wheel. And I don't remember what the other one was. Oh, open glove box. That was the other one. Those were my 4 buttons. Yeah, it's just not connecting. It's not syncing at all. That's a bummer. I'll check one more thing when we get to the parking lot, but says it should sync automatically. It's probably going to be something like, oh, check it out. Has yours done that yet?
No.
The very first FSD drive I did on V14, out of my driveway, it did that. It did the
Focus on the camera.
yeah. Apparently, that was Elon's idea. They were talking about this because they needed the ability to go really fast, and like
Right.
instead of wiping the entire windshield really fast, just zeroed in.
Yeah, apparently it's a smart dude.
Apparently,
Yeah.
yeah.
A lot of people ask me why the wiper's working so much, so often. I can see that the glass is clean, and I keep telling them it's not about what you see. It's about what the camera can see.
Yeah. It's a much smaller section of the windshield it has to work with. I've never really had major issues with the Model Y. The Cybertruck sometimes, the whole windshield glazes over way too often. Don't do that. You got me yawning. Makes you wonder what I'm missing. Hey, hey, hey. It's probably the software update. Probably wasn't supposed to do that or something.
Even learn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they probably had a software version that's not publicly available yet, pre-downloaded, and I wiped it out because I'm an idiot. That's probably what happened. Boom! Oh, okay, that wasn't quite as rough as I thought it was going to be. Did you see that bump we were getting
No.
ready to hit? That was quite the gutter. Oh, FSD is just so good. It's insanely good. Do you drive anywhere?
No, especially not in foreign countries. This is why I want FSD in Europe.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be a big deal in when you're traveling internationally.
Yeah.
If the car knows the area, even if you don't.
Oh yeah.
And the driving rules
And the culture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think I'm allowed to visit Austria well, no, Austria was fine because that was just a parking ticket. But I think France and the UK, I might be in trouble. A lot of speeding tickets. They got cameras everywhere,
Oh, yeah.
and you're getting tickets,
Oh,
and you don't even know what's happening.
Is it through rentals?
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, they sent France sent me a huge invoice. It's all in French, so I just threw it away. I can't read this. All right, so we'll let this thing park, and we gotta figure out what the heck I'm doing wrong. Very nice.
One shot.
Mm-hmm. That was one update that happened with 14 that's very obvious. It usually does that in like a And it'll start to back up, and then it'll go forward once before backing in again. Doesn't do that anymore most of the time. All right, let me look real quick. I apologize for the dead space, but something's not right. And I don't know what it is. First, let me connect.
No, what is the version of FSD in this car? It's not 14.2.
It's 14.1. It's 14.1.4, I believe.
I'm not gonna show you again.
Yeah, 14.1.4. Okay, that's good.
Michel, I started to talk in Hebrew. Somebody said hi from Hispania. From Hispania, Spain.
Oh, it's not connected. Why is it not connected? If I really have to connect this to the car for this to work, that's going to be silly.
Maybe I should disconnect.
No. Oh, you mean your CarPlay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe. We could try that. I think something's wrong with the Commander at the moment. Yeah.
Jim, Iowa Tesla.
Mm-hmm. He installed one of these.
Yeah.
Jim, what's
So
wrong?
he's saying close the app.
Mm-hmm.
They said this version cannot work when the app is connected to the Commander.
Mm-hmm.
Will be fixed before release.
Correct.
We did that.
We did that.
Yeah.
Right now, even the app's not connected to the Commander, which is... Ask him, hey, Jim, did you connect the Dash to the Commander manually, or did it automatically just connect?
It auto connected. Require the Commander they send. Had to take my old one out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did not automatically connect. Yeah, there's nothing else here. So I think... Let's see if I can... Wait, let me kill the app. I'm probably going to have to pull it and replug it in.
He's thinking, he's trying to think along with you.
Yeah, because even the app now doesn't connect to the Commander. So something's wrong with the Commander. That's what that would suggest. Do I have the pry tool in here still? I think I do. Maybe. Maybe I don't. Oh, there it is.
Oh, cool.
Man, if only there was a place where I could find like tools on the spot in a moment's notice. Such an idiot. Okay.
Reboot the Tesla screen. We've done that.
All right. What did he say?
No, somebody else saying reboot the Tesla screen.
Yeah, I'll do that next, but at the moment, even the Commander doesn't connect to my phone, or to the iPad, I guess, whatever, the app. Okay. You should be able to reach it. It's right here. Ouch. There it is. Come on. Okay. All right. We'll disconnect that for a few moments.
Some random JP guy saying that you can do it.
I know. We'll figure this out. I believe.
Very random JP guy.
Hmm. Okay, now we're all green, which is a good sign. Look. Nothing yet. One, two, three, 4, 5. And once this connects, life will be great. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna stick that out and put that back together in case I need to unplug it again. I think we will try the scroll wheel next. Let me see if I have enough cable here to stick this out. Oh boy. Probably not.
I need to charge just need to charge the brain.
Okay. Let's do that.
Thank you, Jim.
It's turned into an adventure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's doing blue and green, which is not the status indicator we would like to see. Can you keep an eye on that while I close this door? Oh.
No, it's
No.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna do it.
it's not good.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna have to put it like.
You need to hold it and
Well, I really didn't want you to have to do that. But we might just have to leave these off. There we go. That'll work. Now we have access to it.
somebody's asking what are we watching here.
It's a great question. I'll let you know when I figure it out. Yeah. Okay. Now, we're going to do the scroll wheels. Why is this happening?
Yeah, we know.
Is there a bluish?
No.
No.
Green, white. Yeah, flashing green and white.
Okay. Like, continuing to restart this isn't gonna do it, you know? Is Jim still there?
Yeah, he said that he stamped with the emoji of a thinking
And
face.
you didn't have to connect to the Commander via Bluetooth on the Bluetooth screen of settings, right?
Somebody's asking if it's all-wheel drive. It's a launch edition, so yes.
Mm-hmm. Sure is. Let's see if it'll even connect to the app anymore.
Waiting for Jim.
It's not connecting to the app either. Let's just try to connect a new one. Let's just call it an S. That was weird.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see if it'll find it. Nope. So it's definitely. Is it doing blue and green now?
No, green and green and white.
Green and white?
Yeah.
Not sure what that is. But I don't see it connected here. I don't know what the problem is. But that Commander is not connecting. Can't open your door anymore. I showed it happen. That's crazy. How did that even happen? It's like is it doing any different new colors?
No.
No, because it's just straight up not connected.
Still.
Yeah, I don't know what the issue is. So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna go home, and I'm gonna try my other Gen 2 Commander that I have, and see if that just happens to work. We'll just check it out. Okay. Auto. Let's put it, come on. Let's just like do that.
And then you just share the screen. Yeah, we're good.
Mm-hmm. Should be.
Somebody's saying hi from India.
From India?
Yeah.
That's a long way away. Welcome. It's 8:30 here. Is it 7 a.m. there? Because there's also a half hour, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. FSD is so amazing. I will say this, I really like the screen. I really wish I could show you the data, because if you nerd out on data, this is definitely the screen to have. But even the CarPlay screen was pretty legit for the one display I had set up as the full screen.
You want to turn Bluetooth on?
No, don't worry about it. They can rewind to see that. It's it looks really nice, and you can do all kinds of different setups. It's so customizable, but also, as you can see here, there's actual buttons you can add. So like glove box, you can add that button there instead of going through your screens. If there's some quick items you want to hit frequently, you could put them on your favorite screen, which is pretty cool. This would be a nice charging display. Wish I could show you charging data. We'll try again with another Commander that I have. But this is cool because you can actually set this to, when you plug your car in, it automatically switches to this screen. So when you're charging, this screen will pop up, and then it'll give you your charging data, which is a different screen than what you would want to see while you're driving. And you can even have it when you go into park, have a different screen pop up. So you can customize not just what data is present, but what data you see in different situations, which is really cool. I'm sorry I'm not showing that at the moment, but I haven't given up yet. We'll try another Commander and see if we get lucky. Crazy. Alright, I'm gonna go into hurry mode. Yeah, let's go around. Let's go. Have you seen Mad Max yet? Have you used it?
I never used it, but the other guy did.
Oh, don't you worry. We're gonna use it now. Ellie is a very cautious driver. He's a safe driver. Mad Max is not his jam.
Life is a skipper.
Yeah. I am glad with this point update we got on V14 because there was no difference in the speed, top speed, between Hurry and Mad Max, and Standard was the speed limit, and Sloth was under the speed limit. So you could either go under speed limit, the speed limit, or 72 miles an hour in a 55. That's ridiculous. So it's getting better. I hate being that guy, but I just want to manually set my max speed again. I really want it. I don't care. I get it, but come on. All right, now I gotta turn this down a little bit. Okay, there's Standard. So hopefully it'll start slowing down because we are going to, there it goes, going too fast. FSD videos are so boring. That's a good thing.
Of course.
See, like, it wouldn't go under 66 in Standard. So I had to go into chill to slow it down to get it back to like a reset point, essentially. And, you know, there's cops all up and down this road all day long.
So,
yeah, and if this Commander doesn't connect, that'll be it for the live stream for tonight. I'll have to figure out what's going on with the guys at Enhance